Hi, Aries. Thank you for being here. It's a very cold winter day where I live, but I love these dark days because they're such invitations to slow down, you know, and it feels really good sometimes to turn inward, and tarot's a great reason to do that and a great tool to use to look inward. It's one of my favorite introspective tools. And so thanks for being with me here today. I am using my oldest tarot deck. I have been for all of these first winter readings. It feels very grounding and they are worn with love, all of these decks, and lots of energy and lots of stories. So hopefully you see some of yours here and some of this resonates with you. And let's get into it. I'm going to be doing a Celtic cross reading, my style. Everyone has their own kind of way of doing it. And yeah, thanks for being here. I hope these days are finding you well. The winter, I know, can be really hard on some people. If you are in a place where it's cold and it's dark and, you know, you live alone, or there's all kinds of reasons it can be hard months. But I hope that you're finding some peace amidst the quiet. So this is for Aries. This is a reading for Aries. Aries. Angel Spirit. What does Aries need to know? My lovely first fire signs. Ooh. Choices. Choices. Aries. I love the fire embodied in Aries. The youngest sign, if you follow that aspect of astrology. Aries are the life of the party. Ooh. Endings, beginnings. And this can be for Aries, and this can be for anyone that resonates with Aries placements, or if you just are called to this reading and it just feels right for you, then it is. Nothing is better than gut feelings and following those and trusting your intuition. Again, look at that. You know, I'll stop here before I get right into the reading, but this is great for Aquarius season, right? The Swords deck is the air suits. I don't know how much you know about the Rider-Waite Tarot, but it's divided into major and minor arcana, and then the minor arcana is divided into 4 suits, each representing an element: earth, air, fire, water. Air is the swords, and it's kind of a strifier suit, depending on how you look at it. Very direct energy, very masculine, can be aggressive, very logical. And we're in Aquarius season, which is the oldest of the air signs. And so you might be feeling some type of like definitive ending or definitive need for something new, or there might be some victory. There's a lot of victorious laurel, you know, as victorious vibes to it. And I'm really noticing, I love tarot, I'm really noticing these little yellow flames, like fire, like Aries. I've never actually seen those before. And they're like candle flickers. You can look at these cards. I've been doing this for about 20 years. You can look at these cards over and over again, and you will always see something new. So maybe this is something about your fire in your mind, your passion and your logic pushing you into a new beginning. Ooh, I like that. Okay. So this will be my version of the Celtic cross that I've developed over the years. And if it resonates with you, great. If it doesn't, and this isn't really your style of reading, that's okay too. But yeah, I hope you find something here. And so here we go for Aries Spirit. just heard pull 2, so we're gonna pull 2 for your outcome. It's interesting. Hasn't happened in a while. Oh, look at that. Oh man, more aces. It's a very passionate ace. It's your sign. 10 of Cups. Doesn't really get better than that. So we'll see what this means, because oftentimes they say the bottom of the deck is the river that runs beneath the reading, or kind of like the vibe beneath the reading. And I'm getting so many tingles right now. Oh my goodness. Wow. So maybe very good. Ominous in a good way. 10 of Cups is ultimate fulfillment in terms of your emotional realm. Very happy family card, joy, earned joy. You know, it's very much an achieved joy, built of choices made for your highest good. I've never even described it that way, but that felt like the right way to say it. So, okay, so in terms of how I read this, this is your immediate surroundings, where you're currently at, lead up to the outcome. So let's get into it. Ooh. Oh, goodness. Wow. Okay, I'll stop there and start with these. And so this is where you're currently at. Again, swords. So maybe this is what the Ace of Swords was talking about, because this is getting towards the end of the swords. This 8 of Swords, clearly she is feeling very trapped, and in a way that she feels almost not victimized, but out of control of her surroundings. You know, she's bound and she's blindfolded, and she doesn't even know where she is. And this is very much feeling like disempowered about all of the hardship around you. And if this is where you're currently at, maybe you've been dealing with a lot, clearly, or just feel very much like it's one thing after the other, or there's just some really hard stuff happening around you that you don't have much control over, and you're just doing the best you can with it. And if that's happening, I'm sorry, and I hope that that you've been doing as well as you possibly can, because the winter can be hard on people in terms of their mind, and that's what the Swords deck is. But it also feels like if things are happening and you had no role in it, or it's just you feel trapped in some way, like this is very trapped feeling in a circumstance, but just know that the only constant is change. And that's kind of what this is saying. So this is the crossing card, which can be referred to as the bridge you're crossing, or challenge card, some people say, but I don't really like that connotation as much. And Pentacles are earthly matters. The Knight of all of the Knights, the Knight of Pentacles, which they all represent movement and change and action from idea. The pages are more ideas, and the Knights are the action carried out for change. Usually some type of change is happening. But this is the most stable of all of the Knights, the Knight of Pentacles. It's the only non-moving horse. He's like pensively gazing at his pentacle, considering it, if you will. And again, I'm seeing like that laurel kind of like victory thing. I've never noticed that either. Oh my goodness, this is crazy. The flowers in the laurel in the horse and the man. Wow. So there's something about like figuring out how to move forward into a more victorious place out of maybe feeling, oh, maybe it's something about how to be empowered again, or feel in control of your life. Wow, yeah, that feels strong. Something about feeling in control of your life again has been the challenge. And maybe the reason you're feeling this way has something to do with earthly matters like jobs or money. The economy's rough, you know, and so maybe you've been feeling out of control, like you can't deal with all the bills coming in, or something's going on with your job, or you don't have a job and you can't find one, and all of that kind of energy around like, can things just please work out? And what's happening is you're trying to figure out how to put this new version of yourself into action, or find more stability in the earthly realm, and what that even is going to even look like, which is maybe why it's a challenge card, is because it just hasn't really come to fruition. But maybe what that Ace of Swords is telling you is that like victory is at hand, and there's going to be a lot of newness coming in, which is great. So these are your immediate surroundings. Goodness gracious. Wow. Oh, Oh my God, again. Look at this. Look at this. Wow. Gosh, sorry. This is a very strifey reading. So whoever I'm reading this for, this probably isn't going to resonate for everybody. Whoever I'm reading this for has been going through it for sure. So this is your one mentor years ago told me that as far as this goes into your past, this goes into your future. And God, I'm getting so much anxiety. Oh my goodness. Whew. Jeez. All of these readings have been really calm, and this is just like really intense energy. So man, if you're the person I'm reading for, my heart is with you. This is intense. Jeez. Okay, so some people say this is the reason for the reading, and definitely looks like it. Or kind of what's moving out. If you think of this as a cycle, it's like this is your past, this is coming in, this is your immediate future, and this is moving out, like that kind of thing. So the Tower is the first major arcana here, and the major arcana, it's more of like faded kind of vibes. And the Tower, like, just look at this. Talk about tumultuousness, like just kings being thrown. Oh, and look at the little candle flames. Oh my goodness. Are we seeing this? They're even like the same shape. Wow. Never noticed that. Okay. There's fire all around them that's pushing out these kings that no longer maybe deserve their crown. That's, wow, I've never said that before, but maybe it's your fire that has broken down something in your life that needed to come down, but it's created a lot of chaos or just a lot of hard energy. And you see the crown just being thrown by the fire. Ooh, oh, my Aries, oh my goodness. Maybe you just broke something down in your life that was like either a long time. I'm getting so many tingles again. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. I'm having an extreme reaction to this reading. And maybe that's just where you've been at, is just like in really extreme energy, or trying to like find stability amidst these extreme emotions you're having or extreme events around you, right? But this is about like the fire throwing off the crown of these kings and them falling to their death in a way, as dramatic as that sounds, because it's a dramatic card. It's basically structures that needed to come down in a divine way being struck by the storm and then being broken down, and the chaos that reigns in the breakdown. So maybe you've been in a chaotic place, and that's why this is the foundation of the reading, and that's why you're looking to tarot right now, is because you've been feeling really chaotic. A lot of things are out of your control and very hard, and you're trying to figure out what stability looks like. Because look at all these cards, and like look at the coloring too around you. Like this gray, it's gray because of the like dark intensity, but there's just so much gray and light blue I'm seeing here of just kind of like hardship, and gray in that way of like, you know, like sad and yeah, just hard and like dull days maybe. Like maybe you just feel like these days are like, ugh, just dragging on, and you just don't know finally when you're gonna feel good again. Whew. Yeah. So there's a lot of storminess. This, what's coming in, I mean, I don't ever look at readings as positive or negative. I don't look at life as positive or negative. I look at all life as a growing experience, like a soul growth. And everything that happens to us, whether we invite it in or it's more fated, is for our growth. And we don't learn that much about ourselves in the good times. You kind of just coast when things are, you know, merry. You enjoy them, but they don't really create the friction necessary for you to trigger growth, right? Like think about outdoor versus indoor plants. I had a friend say this to me years ago. Outdoor plants are so hardy, they're storm worn, and crops, they can just withstand so much more. An indoor plant, you don't water it once and it dies, because it just has a much more cushy kind of existence. And I think a lot of nature, including us, are like that, where the more you trial something, the more hardship something goes through, the stronger it gets. And so I see hardship as just bigger invitations for growth and becoming better, bettering ourselves. And maybe that's my endless optimism, but that's how I feel. I mean, I've been through some things and I still have that mindset. I've learned the most in the hard times. So I'm saying that to preface this kind of energy, because the overall whatever's overhanging you is Three of Swords. Threes are already, tough numbers. Three is a crowd, as they say. And then the storms, the rain, in these hard winter months. And I really feel for you, because if this is for you, it's like this overhanging feeling of heartbreak, heartache, hardship, just feeling trapped, feeling stuck. You're going through it for sure. The past is some type of almost slicing. I feel very slicey about this card, especially with the flames. It's like something, and the crown. Oh my gosh, the crown. Something was cut out. Maybe you ended something. Maybe you just changed something drastically about yourself or about your circumstances. But goodness gracious, there's some type of sliced, cut out energy that has changed something in your life, or something has been cut out in more of a faded way for you, more faded way, because it was necessary, but now you're facing the fallout of that, whether it's emotional or mental. It feels much more mental than emotional, mental hardship. But you're an Aries, so it's you're more in touch with that kind of fiery, cerebral, kind of passion-driven side of yourself than someone that would be more steeped in their emotions, depending on your placements. Doesn't mean you're not feeling rough based on this. So there was something cut out, but in a way that is gonna bring newness into your life. But you might just be in the midst of the transition. What's coming in is this fives again, fives and threes. Fives are probably the strifiest number. This card, I love though. So many people get so weirdly nervous about seeing cards like this, but I love them because I was saying, just the lessons in them are amazing. And this card can be interpreted in so many ways. This guy has his 3 swords, right? How funny. And he is holding them in a way where it's clearly he won. And the people walking away are very sad and defeated. And who knows if you are represented by one of these characters, or if this is just a general theme in your life. But it's this feeling of winning a battle, but not knowing if the win was worth it. Or this can also mean just if you have been trying to enact some change in your life and you haven't been able to get away from it, say a person in your life, this is just an example, right? To give perspective, a person in your life that you have tried to cut out, but it's just getting dragged out for whatever reason. What's coming is just this admitting defeat about it, this realizing that there's no winning here. Whatever this is, there's no winning here. Or it's just accepting the loss of whatever was lost, and just letting it go, some type of letting it go. Because again, the bottom of your deck is just the happiest card in the deck. So maybe what this has something to do with is just cutting something out that's inevitable, that needed to end, and you knew it, so that you can set the stage for your joy, right? Goodness. Oh, wow. Oh my goodness. Oh man. Wow. Jeez Louise. Okay, so everyone reads these differently. I'm going to do my way and how this resonates. So how beautiful. This is the crossing card in a way where it's like you're trying to figure out, in the midst of all this gray and dour and dark, there's this yellow, this gold, and this offer or this change or this new, and it's not here. And the challenge is like, how do I, in a pensive way, considering how do I move forward? How do I move forward from this so that I can see the sun again, so I can experience this joy? And what's crazy is what comes of that, where this leads, is the page. And so the page comes for the knight, but the page is the actual knowledge, the idea that he is carrying out. And so it's like, this situation is going to lead you to this idea of newness, this message of newness that's coming towards you, or just like, look at all the new, and you see the buds. I never noticed that either. You see the buds growing, right? And it's just like the beginning of spring after all of this gray, which is very, and maybe it will coincide with end of winter and spring, you know, whenever the world and nature supports blossoming. But there's something about like going from, man, how do I move forward, to, I know, like, it's here, or I've come up with this idea. And there's something about like hitting the bottom, hitting this rock bottom feeling. Not that you're like at rock bottom, I hope that's not the case, but it, like, clearing everything, admitting defeat, because then the new can flood in all of its brightness. Oh, goodness. Wow. And this, the Lovers, is like either how others see you. So I don't know if this was a relationship. Could be, for sure, something that you cut out because you knew it was bad for you, and you're tired of feeling like a victim of your circumstances, and you're just gonna have to admit defeat and like accept that that's gonna bring pain, because sometimes we hold on to things because we don't want it. We know how much it's gonna hurt to finally walk away, but you have to feel those things, and you have to, oh God, I'm getting those tingles again. You have to clear the way and feel everything you need to feel so you can really move forward, so you can really break it all down so that it starts over. Like, you break down all of this crap, these like unhappy structures, and then you can have this beautiful budding field with the new day. And so in terms of the Lovers, it could be some type of journey you were on with someone, you know, like some type of feeling like you were, sorry, I'm like getting really emotional. Some type of feeling like you were on a journey with someone, and this card normally looks like they're making a choice to walk together to me, but it honestly looks like she is looking for confirmation that the best thing is to separate. Wow. And she's looking for kind of like divine help, and he is standing in front of all of the fire, and maybe that's being burned away. And this could be, I could be reading for a masculine or a feminine. This is more just symbolic of like, in terms of how they're looking at each other. And then there's the path up the mountain. Wow. And it's almost like it's time. But maybe people have seen you as this person that is constantly choosing something that's hard. You know, I'm seeing the red a lot, and the burning, and the snake, right? So maybe that's how you've been seen for a while, or maybe that's something you have defined yourself as for a while. If not relationship, then maybe there's just some type of like thing you've been choosing in your life, to some path you've been choosing to walk, that you're finally looking for like a new path, right? And you're ready for it. The Lovers also used to be called the choice card, you know, in the earlier decks. And it's kind of choosing what's right for you. What's the most right thing? And I also say that because this is your hopes and fears card, which might be my favorite of all the categories, because it's what we want the most, we're also the most afraid of. And threes are a choice. This card specifically, wands, your suit, your power, your passion. And you see this person, and they have staked their, like in the Two of Wands, they're holding a globe in their hand, facing, like, look, they have the whole world in their hand, and they're facing their choices. But this is, the choice has been made, and he's facing the horizon. And so maybe making the decision to move forward, you know, threes in very auspicious places is the choice, right? To move forward, stick the stake in the ground, face all of the new and the bright sunny day coming in. And that's been what you've wanted, because you want to face this new dawn and all of the newness of the horizon, but you're also afraid of it, because that is a really big, it feels like a very big horizon full of unknowns. And sometimes it's like, you know, sticking with the devil you know instead of the devil you don't, right? But I don't feel like this is going to lead towards anything negative, this choice. I think it's only going to bring in, the sunshine. Your outcome, whew, and the two, look at this, and look at how kind of like, because all the kings are faced differently and look different, but these are the two figures that look so similar, right? So stalwart, so strong and grounded. And so this can be a person. Clearly, this could be a person, because oftentimes kings and queens represent actual figures, masculine and feminine embodiments, which we all contain masculine and feminine energy. So it could be, regardless of you're a man or a woman or whoever, that this is you, and you feel very strong and confident and ready to cut. Like maybe you have just fully taken up that sword, and you have such firm boundaries, and you know logically exactly how to move forward, and that is your outcome. And that's a beautiful outcome in itself. But it could also be a person coming into your life that is very logical. Honestly, it feels more like you. The only reason it might be a person is because this can be the marriage card. And I don't want to be like, oh, if you move away from this one person, you're going to get married soon, because that's just, life is just way too convoluted, and I'm reading for way too many people. But there's learning, higher learning in a spiritual sense, very much represented in this card. And there's extreme earthy, logical strength, of just grounded strength in this, of just being really aware of how far you've come and what it looks like to move forward. And with all of these swords being here, like, look at his stern face, like you've been through it, but there's a lot of strength coming out of that. And there's some type of like spiritual growth that is just as important, which is why I pulled these two cards. It's not just in your mind, it's in your soul. Whatever it is, there's an insane amount of strength coming out of this. And there may be people looking to you for your strength because of everything you've learned from this. Maybe whatever this hardship is that you've been through, you're now going to help others. I've never even seen these guys, but like, and how logical is a teacher, you know? Swords are the mind. And so maybe in some way you're going to teach or lead or help people too, because that is also, the best teachers are the people that know the lessons so acutely and are passionate about their subject because they have lived it. And so that could be that, but it could also just be some type of relationship with some strong figure. I mean, if that's your goal. But whatever this is really needs to come to an end so that you can just invite this in. But what I love about this reading the most is that it's like you're immediately surrounded, and maybe you feel just totally steeped in this hardship, but all of this light and sunshine and then knowledge and growth is coming out of it. Growth is just like, maybe I'll make that the title of this, because there's just a lot of growth coming out of this. So before I close, I'm going to use my favorite. That's funny. I just got called to, this is a really cool deck. I just got called to And look at it, it's the Page of Pentacles. How funny. I don't know, I haven't felt like that yet, but I really wanted to do that. And you're gonna know, probably in not too long, what it is you need to move forward. And it's gonna feel like a spark of life in this gray. Okay, so I'm gonna read the Wisdom of the Oracle card. I love these cards, my second oldest deck. For Aries, can you please give Aries any additional insight into this reading? Any additional insight into this reading? Wow. Oh, Loyal Heart. That's beautiful. It's the card I was getting before I met my partner. Higher Power. Oof. Maybe that's why I've been just getting so many intense feelings. I must be reading for someone. Number 4. So Higher Power, it's, you know, you're protected and this is a divine path. You know, whatever your religion or spirituality is, the energies that be are watching over you. So Higher Power, essential meeting, conscious contact with a higher power, the presence of the divine, seeing source energy in all things, committing to a partnership with spirit. This card reminds you that you are more than a person trying to get ahead and make things happen for yourself and others. You have an immortal soul and are gifted with a human life through which a higher power can express itself. At this time, you need to be conscious of your connection with spirit and foster it through prayer and meditation. Ask, what is the highest good for all, and how can I serve? Then get out of your own way and trust there's a plan for your life more wondrous than you can ever know. You're always protected and divinely directed. Holy crap. Is this why I got called to pull this second card? Because it's like spirit is with you and you have some type of like divine purpose to share and help people with whatever it is. Maybe this is this isn't just like a few months. Maybe this is like your life and you have just been through it and you're finally ready to figure out how to use this or how to move forward into stability. And this is letting you know that it's all been for a reason and you have a purpose. Nothing is ever for naught. Okay, I need to go take a shower after this reading. This is intense. Aries, if this is for you, this resonated with you, I am sending you so much love, and I just hope that you got something out of this, some clarity, and hopefully some excitement for what's to come, because there's a lot of good ahead. And I'm sending my love to you, and I hope that this video finds you as well as can be. Okay, bye.